Alright, welcome back everyone. Here we are through our 6 days. Got our tray of tiny pieces with some of the pieces already in line for tonight. Got our base. I've pretty much decided to leave that sort of texture on there. I think that sort of looks, I've decided that looks sort of like a cobblestone thing, so I think it's cool. I don't know if it'll work out in the end, but that's where I'm going with it so far. But we're hopefully by the end of the night we're going to have this side decorated. So that's the goal for tonight. If you're new here, this is what I do. I buy these kits and build them step by step, mostly in real time. You get to see all my successes and all my failures and how I hopefully fix the inevitable failures. Have a good time and upload daily and just I'm trying to have fun. We're not doing anything serious. We're just building silly little models and enjoying ourselves. If you see any kits or sets or builds or anything you'd want me to try, feel free to drop in the comments. I'm always looking to add on to my list, and I've got the most intelligent audience on YouTube, so y'all always provide me with good choices. But we're going to get into, got a few small pieces left to build, but then we're going to actually start installing onto our frame, hopefully pretty quick. Okay, and there's no of those things. I'm not looking forward to this one, but I think it's going to be okay. Seems a little bit fiddly. The instructions seem pretty straightforward, so I think it's going to be not super painful. But we'll find out together, won't we? Let's see, come on in since we're dealing with tiny pieces. Got 5 each of these guys. And that side won't roll away. Basically, we're supposed to take one piece of string and looks like thread the needle through this. Alright. It worked once, didn't it? Okay. Did some yard work this afternoon, so please forgive me on my nails. Okay, what I think I'm going to do, let's see how this works. I don't know if it'll go for me or not. Give myself a little. On the end there, I hope so, enough to grab it and bring you down. Okay, that did not work. As it was going, I was thinking this isn't going to work. Okay, so plan B. Got my acrylic. And see if I can get that. Get a hold of that thing again. It's still clean on the inside, so go through. Other end. Okay, come on. Okay, 2 through. Okay. Now, B7000. Hopefully, this will work better than the hot glue did. It should. Lay you down. I think if I can do that 5 times, we should be able to slice that off. And I think it'll actually give us a better bonding surface to put everything together, which is, you know, the plan anyway. Okay. Now, see if I can do it with my hand any better. Okay, that might be the trick to do. Let's get you out of my reflection there. Okay. Okay, this one didn't go as well, but same concept, I hope. Oops. Had it and lost it. Again. All right. Okay. Didn't work holding the bead with the tweezers. Maybe the string with the tweezers a little better. It did for a second. Okay. On the end here. Into the glue. Okay. Alright, I think that's going to be the technique to go with. Of course, I'm still basing that on that I'm going to be able to peel these things off of that acrylic there. No, I let go when it stayed. Okay, new plan. Betting this isn't going to work, but I'm going to try it. Okay. I think that one's shot. Let's see if I can clean that. Let go with the string. Okay. Or the bead. Okay. Try you again. I think it's going to work. I'm thinking about getting a different bead. Yeah, new bead. This is thrilling, I'm sure. Okay. new string too. Okay. Finally, gonna be able to try again. Okay. And find another one of those beads. Okay. 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 I don't think it'll take this long to make the other half of these. I hope it won't anyway. Okay. Okay. Finally. Of course, I'd long since forgotten which one went on first, but I'll work on the other half while I sort of let that glue do its thing. This should be the easy part. Okay. I can get them to not roll away on me. These are not beads. Well, I guess they are sort of beads there. I do have a little hole on the other end, but got a big hole, tiny hole, so I think this is going to be easier. Just pop a little dab of glue in there. Slather. There, give it a quick spin around, I hope. And rinse and repeat. And next one, I think I'm going to give both it, and that's the other half of that. I'm not sure if they're lamps or decorations or ornaments or what, but they're that's the first and second half there. So I'm just trying to clean my nozzle off. I got paper towel glued to my nozzle. Okay. But I'm going to give both of those a little bit of time to dry as I'm trying to clean off all the fuzz off my nozzle. Okay. I've got a couple other pieces to assemble too, so I'm going to let that get over there. Move into this one. Okay. This one, still laying down. It's supposed to make sort of a lattice work thing. Try to get the glue to not stick to the pieces. Well, this is one of those things. They could have made something with some marks on it or something. Can't even drop things in place anymore. Okay. So we're supposed to. Okay, so it's supposed to be flush on one. Okay, so it's supposed to be flush on one side. I can find my old right angle jig. Hiding back here in the corner. This should actually get you in there. I need something squared up here. Oh, there's a little. How's this on lengthwise? That'll work. So, the ends are a little bit rough. Let me smooth that out. It is too tall. I can't lay. What is it? No, it's pretty tight grid. So what I'm gonna do, I believe, is, and they're not square either, but it's I think I'm ready to take that risk. I'm gonna try and do both ends, just to have some hopefully uniform. Get it sort of locked in here. And get it to not stick to the glue. Okay, so a couple of dots there now. There. There. Just started, I hope. So put one here in the middle. Hopefully get it to hold it down and just two of them on. Okay. Now goes down here. Okay. Get that third one on. I'm gonna let it dry, I think. Square it back up. Okay, now I'm going to let those get situated, and I'll come back and put these other three, in somewhere. They're not going to be uniform, I'm sure, but they're going to be at least together. Maybe, so I want to move this one down a little bit now. If I can space there. Okay. Okay, now, like I said, I'm going to take a few minutes and let that get dry, as well as the other parts, and come back and play around with them just a little bit more, and then it'll be time to start building our wall. So, right back with that. Okay, that should be fairly stabilized now. Okay. Get our spacer out of the way and sort of figure out where we're going to put the rest of these things. Let me take a look. Where's this get mounted? Okay. Yeah, that's... Okay. Yeah, they should have given us some kind of measurements on that, because I just flipped it over. There's where it's saying to make it. And evidently it's going to be... I'm going to have to... I guess I can position those supports wherever I need to. I hope I can. Have to figure that out as we go along too. Okay. But meantime, let's put the rest of these slats on, and then we'll go from there. So we go. Get it to let go. And I'll put one in here. I guess one here. Hopefully it's going to be enough from the side that you won't be able to tell how not evenly spaced they are. Pop you. And then very end. That's the edge there. Okay. Let's see. It's probably going to be one of those okay situations. I'm not sure it's going to be good or bad, but I think we'll be able to live with it. So set that aside and let it do its thing, and let's see how these guys did. Get my little plastic razor blade. Not dry yet. I thought that would be. Let's get one of the less. Okay, so it stayed in there, so that much is good. Now, I think I'm going to go for the hot glue on these, because that's just supposed to stick them on that end. Yeah, the bead goes onto that end there, so let's see if I can do this without burning myself. And fast enough to get in there with it. Okay. Okay, maybe. Okay. Got the invisible strings from the hot glue, but I think it's going to work. Maybe. Let's see how the rest of them go. Let's see. You next. seem to be reasonably non-catastrophic.
No, stay in there. I was not expecting that to be the issue. There should have been plenty of glue in there. Okay. Guess I didn't give that enough time to dry on the internal glue there. But we'll keep going. I can set that aside for another few minutes too. So. Darn it. Okay. Let's. Okay, since we're having that issue, let's see. Can I? Convince that to stay down in there. Get the old B7000 out again. I can't fill that up with glue. And set you aside. See if that'll hold. Because it happened once, it'll happen again. But if these two work, if these two cooperate, I'll keep going and just put that one at the very back. So let's see how these guys do. Okay, so far sticking in. And back to the glue gun, I hope. It's trying to separate as well, but hopefully letting the glue dry will alleviate that. It didn't seem to be a problem on the first one. Okay. Staying in place. Okay, and last guy here. Oh, doing glue gun. Not glue. I'm having my doubts about these guys, especially since that happened. I can't. Let's see what this. Get you out of there. Just get this cleaned out. Okay, that did work. Start playing around. got a couple minutes left on this card, so I'm trying to get. I didn't think this would be this much of a challenge. I was optimistic. Okay, so down in there. Okay, it's probably okay. I got glue down in the hole. Okay, so let's just. It's sticking to me. Okay, there's one. Yeah. And set you aside. Okay. Like I said, I'm about to run out of time on my SD card, so I'm going to give those a few minutes. I don't think there's anything else I can do. Yeah, I can work on other things. Alright, but I'm still going to swap SD cards and I'll be right back. And while we're waiting on those to dry, we can start getting these guys in place. Get the glue residue out of the way. Okay. What goes where? Okay, so this first guy goes on back here into this corner. And somebody pointed out in the comments that this light is supposed to poke through right under where I poked that poster. I think we got some wiggle room here, so I'm gonna try and poke over here in the side. I don't think that's gonna be enough. Let's lower it. A little more room there. Maybe get you through that one. Okay. Okay. It was sliding up the side perfectly like you'd want it to be. So you get that. Our guy's going to be a little wobbly because we have the glue on the back, but that's just tuck you in up there, and that's gonna work. All right. Because there's going to be a door, and the door goes in front of this one, so that should be okay. Yeah, I don't know why we had to put that down there, because it's yeah, that's not going to be visible at all, even in the reflection over there. Okay. Let's put this. I can't. Over here, I'm just going to run some glue. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do. Yeah, just do the old B7000. Just to, I think, fairly generous. Make sure you got plenty on there to bridge any gaps that might be on there. Just right there against our mirror. And down. And there's no way that's going to stay down when I let go of it. Nope. Find something with some weight to it here. Battery pack. Alright, perfect. I think. Yeah. Okay.
And this guy goes on the street in front of it, but we'll do that later. And this guy goes here on top. That goes down like that. It's the back wall and the top of it here. Can I get a little excess glue right there? Make sure I don't hit that wire. Cover all that up so I'm not worried about tearing it. Okay, there we go. Nice snug flush fit there. Okay. Make sure I got it. The dark part facing forward. Go. 7,000. And along the back, fairly generous again, just in case any unevenness. So I got to bridge the gap. Okay. That in place. Then this guy goes top here. Well, that should be the easiest one of all because it's got nice flat surfaces to glue onto. So just a couple more beads either side. That's not staying up on that side, but I think you're close enough. I can get a clamp on you. This top, look, that top frame there, but I don't want to move that. Okay, so I think means I get to sit here for a minute or two. That seems to be okay. Everybody's solid through there, so that's what we're wanting to see. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit here for a minute or two and hold this one because I don't think I can clamp it, but I can't pick it up to put the clamp on. So I'll be right back. Okay, I think we're stabilized now. Yeah, it looks like they're not popping up anymore. But we got that our side angle there. Let's see if I can't close that guy. Well, that was easy enough. And now let's you up. So I'm gonna start putting, like I said, this guy is sort of goes into our doorway right there. That's a nice, easy fit. I'll just pop a little B7000 right there in front of it. And drop you in. Stand down, right? Yep, okay. And with our door goes there, sort of in the, so I'll put a bead along the bottom and this edge, and hopefully that can get it, I can get it positioned in there. It's supposed to be cracked a little bit, so on the edge to hopefully hold it upright. and on the bottom to keep it positioned. And I think I hit it first shot. Encouraging. Somewhere. Oh, no, I dropped it, I knocked it off the hinges. Okay. Be a little more gentle with it now. Okay. And one of our street address signs goes on there too. I missed that in one of my details. But after this, we're going to start working on the top, the balcony part. So you'll actually be able to see some of that going on. So just a dab on the back there. Make sure I got your right side up. Stick it on the wall. Okay. Something like so. Our wires there, just be gentle with them. Okay. Now, up here on the top we get these guys. Oh, that's for after a while. That's number one. First thing, this guy goes along this edge here with the protrusions going down, so just a couple of dabs on that, and then down the back. Leave it alone, it'd stay. Get you all the way over the edges, but close as I can on that anyway. Okay. Then our little stool dude goes there in the corner. So all four of these guys. So you go in there. And then I'm going to use that guy and then this guy, and one of our rocks goes on there, and a big potted plant. That's everything that goes on the top bit. Okay, so big potted plant goes here. Looks like I mounted the shovel too low. Nice blob there. Got another rail on that side, so I do want to make sure I got clearance there. Then, and all this stuff is going to be behind railings. I don't think any of it will be visible. It's all said and done. In front of our potted plant, we put one of our rocks. We're going to use that to sort of brace the plant up. Okay. Then
Like I said, once the railing gets in place, I don't think any of this will be visible. Our little potted plant. Like so. Okay. Now, I'm going to close in the rest of our balcony here. So, can't tell from the picture. Let's see how's. Okay, so this goes in front of everything. So I'm going to do this side first. Back edge. A little more clearance here. Okay. Now, either foot on the back, hit the other railing. Tweezers being okay. Full contact there, but the glue made contact, so that's the important thing. Actually, it did. Looks like it did. It looks there's a little gap on this side, but this side's just about perfect here. I'm gonna try and tempt fate. And there goes Neo, so I'll let her do her business. We'll let this dry for a few minutes. Okay, that should be fairly stabilized. Got our little balcony thing. Like I said, I should have mounted the shovel up a little bit higher, but I'll live with that. And okay, now it's time to find out if these things are going to be stable enough for me to actually use. Let's see here. Yeah, those might end up there, I think. Yes, trying to come out. I don't think. Okay, the glue gun ones appear to be ready to go. So we'll just have 3 of them rather than 4, or rather than 5, which sort of suits me. Trim some of this. I think I can trim some of that excess glue off without. I can do it without cutting the string. Okay. Same thing over on this one. Up a little bit. Okay, that one I think is okay. But that's where this guy comes in. So I'm only doing 3 of them. We're doing 5. It says we're supposed to sort of do them on the diagonal through there. And I'm going. These things, I don't think they're going to be stable enough for me to use. These are the ones I did just the B7000 down in the thing. It might be okay tomorrow after it's had like time for the glue to really cure, so I'll set them aside and we'll look at that then. But they're just supposed to go. I guess we're just tying them on. Doesn't say. No, you don't see the strings on top. I guess they're getting glued in place. Okay, we're supposed to. I see now. We're supposed to cut them to those lengths, and then. Okay, so he's going to be going down and back. Okay,
I'll just do 1, 3, and 5 so we can go. So if we want to add those other ones in, we can at a later date. 5. Get it. Okay. And they still look about the same. So we go bottom side. Now I'm just going to do 1, 3, and 5 because they had the last one blank. 2. So I think go with the hot glue again. That's supposed to go. This one goes to the front. So way too much glue. You put that on first, and then put the glue on top of that. Okay. But live and learn, right? Let's see, I'm trying to check something. Okay. Okay. Trying to. Okay, I was looking at something else. Skip one, about halfway. Nope. Didn't learn nothing. All the way to the back. Right there. That's tangled up in there. You should be good. Okay, maybe. Give that a few more seconds, I think. Okay, so they are going to be, they're not lined up, so that's what we want. Wrong page. Yeah, we want them not that way. Am I not that way yet? Okay. Looks like we got. I'm going to go ahead and mount it now. I'm going to skip there. Get this thing back up here. Okay. They got us working on this side first, and then going back to mount it, but over there. But I think I can do this all today. So get those guys, and that'll be tomorrow. So. What's the... Looks like I got bare wires down here. I'm hoping they're not. I don't remember those. Okay. So this guy. It's got to go like that. flush one to the back. So you're going to go, it's got a little bit of a lip there on that door, so that seems to be a good thing to hook it onto. These are I think, okay, these that I thought were the stands are, I've got them mixed up. These cross members over here, I've got them, I did that wrong. Because this isn't, because these are long enough. Yep, I picked the wrong ones to make that assembly with, so I have to improvise a bit. I think this will still, I think I can still make this work. Good. Yeah, I'm not going to pull on it too hard, but it's stabilized here. So I'm going to put these guys, actually I think they're going to be long enough to go all the way down to the ground. Do them in the front here instead. How's that? There. Yeah, that works. Okay. So I'm going to put them here and here behind these two risers. The third from that end. I'll do the second from that end. Yeah, I'll do the second. Yeah, I'll do the second from each end. I'm just going to do the, I think the hot glue will work on this. We'll find out. A little bead right there. Drop you down to the ground and press you up. Okay. Not perfectly straight, but I think it'll be alright. Same thing here. Down there. Down the ground and push forward. Yep. I think that's still going to work. I don't want to go too high with it, do I? Let's see. Okay, it actually said, yeah, it actually does go according to the instructions. This crossbar would go up there. So that's not that tall, so I'm gonna stick with the, yeah. So we're using the door as a brace. Okay. I think for that, I'm going to go back to the B7000. Nice dial up on the top of both of these guys. And I'm going to run the bead across the top of the door. And generally, I think this stuff's going to be sticky enough to work here. It usually is. Past our yeah, a little improvisation, but okay. Yeah, and it hit just right on our cross member there. So we get that sort of look. See the reflection there? Yeah, that's gonna work. Okay, it's full victory from the jaws of defeat. And that doesn't look too bad. Okay. Do a quick check here. I'm going to go ahead and make one more piece tonight. I'm not going to install it, but I think just to get it out of the way. This guy, there's 4 of these on it. And these are, you got one end has a bit of an angle there. I think that goes in. Oh, that doesn't feel even. Okay, so if we go flush against one side, it's the angles there, and that's what's going to determine how the mounting angle for this piece of the roof. So we want to make sure all our angles are facing the same way, and we want them to go down, and yeah, like so. So it's angled like this, on the way back through. It's just sort of these should be fairly easy. Just a couple of beads on either end for the first two. And swirl around there. Nice and flush on the back here. And I say just sort of eyeball the other two, I think. It's here and here. This will get us ahead for tomorrow. I had delusions of getting much further, but I wasted a lot of time, or lost a lot of time trying to build those little bulb things. And at least I got 3 of them to stick in. Maybe we can get the other 2 in tomorrow. We'll find out. Okay, so that's it's not right there. I'll get that lined up. Alright. So that's ready to go for tomorrow. Like I say, that's just getting prepped, ready to roll. And actually, while I'm at it, I was supposed to install this window frame into this. I didn't think about that, so I missed that sort of thought. That's going to be top and bottom, and drop you in, so you'll be ready for tomorrow too. You in to set up. Alright, I say, yeah, getting ahead there is all that's doing. And I'll say once again, since I'm getting ahead, I might as well empty out this bowl. Let's see here, what's the, one of my swabs, I gotta get this evened out here. Yeah. And this is supposed to go on this one like so, and the light goes through the middle of that. So we don't want to fill it up with hot glue. So just run around the outside edge of our hole there. And that's actually a pretty good fit anyway, so I'm going to get that situated. Like I say, that's going to be ready to go tomorrow too, so let's say we're just doing a little bit of pre-planning for tomorrow, and that's going to look good. Alright, that's like this. That's all for tomorrow's stuff, but we made, I would consider that fair progress today. You've actually got something onto the wall there, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, that's gonna look alright. Somebody was asking about the battery, so I pulled it. So let's see what that light looks like inside our shop here. Pop them together in. Get them to cooperate. Okay. Yeah, it lights up pretty good. Let me not show. Wrong button. Yeah, the interior of the shop gets lit up pretty well with that thing, so that's cool. You can see our coffee bags. There I was. Yeah, I think that'll be alright. Alright, folks. Pop some lights back on here. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, complain, share. Do whatever you want to with all that. Be good to one another. Stay safe. And click on a link. That's link to get subscribed. That's my sort of experimental channel. I'm gonna upload one up today. That's when this video drops. That's the playlist for this build, and there's what YouTube thinks you should watch. See you tomorrow.